If I had to start all over again, no degree, no portfolio, and no clients, and I had to become a successful graphic designer from scratch, this is the exact step-by-step plan I would follow. And if you feel lost, overwhelmed, or like you're way behind, you are not. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. So whether you're just starting or starting over, this video will show you how to build a real career in design with nothing but your mindset, your work ethic, and a clear path. Let's go. I did not go to school for graphic design. I didn't have clients. I didn't even know what to charge. I started on Fiverr doing logos for €5. No joke. Back then, I was just creating passion projects, making up fake clients, writing fake briefs, and that was my practice. And that's how I kept learning. And even as a professional, pricing was still a mystery to me. It took me years to understand how to actually charge for design, because that's a skill on its own. And a lot of designers, they still don't know a thing about pricing, even as professionals. I was all over the place at first, but not in a chaotic way. I was finding my rhythm. I wasn't just learning software. I was trying to figure out who Marcus is as a designer, and that's a tough spot to be in. You're trying all kinds of stuff and nothing really feels like home. But here's what I know now. If design is your space, you will find your home. And when you do, you double down on it. I felt like I was working hard, but not moving forward. But that's a process. It doesn't always feel like progress, but I'm telling you, that is progress. You're not wasting time. You're learning what doesn't work. You're discovering where you belong. If you learn to love the process more than the destination, you will get there. And once you do, you will look back and realize the process was the whole point. Look, I've seen the comments. I feel behind, I don't know where to start, I'm scared, I waited too long, and that's why I made this video. It's not a course, it's not a program, just a clear path to show you what I wish someone showed me. If I had to start from scratch as a graphic designer in 2025 and beyond, these are the exact 7 steps I would follow to build a career from zero. Let's get into it. Step 1. Learn the basics and not only the fancy tools. Now, this is extremely important. Learning the fundamentals in any profession you pick is the most important part of the game. I'm talking about shape psychology, I'm talking about color psychology, symmetry, balance, contrast, typography. These are the things that actually make your work good. Most new designers, they skip and jump straight into learning the tools, and I did the exact same thing. When I started out, I had no idea about shape psychology or color psychology or typography or contrast. I just wanted to make stuff look cool, but I didn't understand any of the principles behind it. No clue why certain things worked and others didn't. I was just guessing, and we're not going to cover the full theory here. There are plenty of tutorials for that. But what I want to make sure is you hear this. Learn how to think like a designer and not just how to use the software. One of the best things you can learn early is the process of creating something. And with this, I mean the steps necessary to go from point A to point Z. For example, a client reaches out to you for a logo design project. You need to know what and who you are dealing with before you even start the design process. So you send a questionnaire to ask the right questions, and based on the answers, you highlight the keywords, you do competitor research, and so on. And when you understand the process, you realize something really important, and that is templates are everything. Seriously. You need templates for client briefs, you need them for logo presentations, you need them for brand identity presentations. No matter what, you need a lot of templates. And here's why. Time is our most valuable asset. And once you start growing in this space, whether it's as a designer or even as a design mentor like I am right now, you will realize don't trade time for money, trade money for time. For example, when I was still making gaming videos, I would always edit those videos myself. I know for a fact if I outsourced that, my channel would have blown up already because editing those videos took me hours and sometimes even days. So now I outsource my editing because while my video is being edited, I'm back in my room recording my next video. So if you want to grow fast and work smart, that's the mindset you need. But if you want to shortcut this, in the description below, there's a free resource I put together. It's called the Designer's Presentation Kit. You will get real templates I've used in client projects, stuff people normally sell for hundreds of dollars. I'm giving it to you for free because I know how valuable this is. Step 2, create even if it's bad. Don't wait until you're ready. Just start making things, even if they suck. Starting before you feel ready helps you build confidence and momentum faster than waiting for perfection. Back when I started, I had to create everything from scratch. Made up names, fake briefs, full strategies. There was no ChatGPT. Now you have tools I did not have, and if you use them right, they can speed up your growth, and not by designing for you, but by sharpening your thinking. So let me give you an example from my own experience. I once created a fake project and came up with the brand named Food Tag. Sounds modern, clean, and I was happy with it. But I asked ChatGPT for feedback, and it instantly pointed something out. FU might be interpreted as F you. That moment taught me something powerful. AI can help you see things you miss. It's like having a second pair of eyes on your work. You're not using it to do the work for you. You're using it to learn smarter and avoid blind spots. Many designers are now using tools like this to accelerate their learning faster than ever before. So if you want a full video where I break down how to use ChatGPT to become a better designer, drop a comment below and I'll make it for you. Now, step number 3, choose one tool and then master it. You don't need to learn everything at once. Pick one design tool and stick to it. Photoshop, Illustrator, Canva, doesn't matter. Just pick one and go deep. Because the thing is, once you get the hang of one tool and you master it, a lot of those principles are applicable in the next software. Do you still need to watch tutorials? Yes, of course. But anyways, when I first got into marketing, this was the first thing I heard. There are so many branches to marketing. If you're trying to learn all of them, you will overwhelm yourself when you just get started. It's the same with graphic design. You can learn animation, branding, UI, UX, illustration, but if you chase them all at once, you will stay average in all of them. You have to find your lane, and that's why passion projects are important. They help you figure out what kind of designer you actually want to be. For me, I genuinely love branding. Bringing someone's idea to life always felt good to me. And once I got the hang of it, it was ready to learn the next thing that sparked my interest. So if you're starting out, forget trying to master everything. Pick one software, pick one style, and go all in. Step number 4, build a starter portfolio. No clients, no problem. You can build a portfolio from scratch with fake projects, passion work, redesigns, imaginary brands. I built my portfolio without any clients, just a bunch of fake projects. Look, clients care about one thing. Can you solve their problem, and does your work show it? Your portfolio isn't about how many clients you've had, it's about showing your thinking and your ability to deliver. But let me give it to you straight, your portfolio is not what gets you client, it's what builds credibility. Once someone is interested, it helps them decide. They might think, is this the person who can deliver the value I'm looking for? And that's it. It's not your fishing hook, it's your proof. So yes, it matters, but it does not magically get you clients. But here's what they never teach graphic designers, and that's marketing. And I promise you, if I learned marketing earlier, I would have scaled way faster. Design is only 20% of the game, and the rest, it's knowing how to find the right people, talk to them the right way, and get paid for what you're actually worth. And this is what the most designers skip. But if you start learning marketing early, you will have an edge most people never develop. But there's a big but. Master graphic design first, and after you know your way around, start learning about marketing. So yes, build your portfolio. But understand this, your portfolio builds credibility, not traffic. Marketing is what brings the people to the door. And that brings us to step number 5, share your work publicly. This is where most people stop. They create, but they don't post. Why? Mostly it's because they're scared of being judged, or scared of someone going to call their work trash, or just feeling like I'm not ready yet. But here's the truth. The designers who grow fast, they're not always the best. They're just the ones who kept showing up. Start posting your work on Instagram, Behance, Dribbble, LinkedIn, wherever your dream clients might be scrolling. And like we talked about in step 4, marketing brings people to the door. So don't just build great work, get in front of the right eyes. Here's an example of how strong marketing can be. There are Facebook groups filled with startups, and people in there literally post stuff like, hey, anyone know a good graphic designer? You could be the one replying. That's outreach. So here's your challenge. Make a daily schedule. Every day, spend 30 to 60 minutes doing outreach. Join those groups. Find where your team clients congregate. Get your name out there. And here's a bonus mindset tip. Stop reinventing the wheel. If you're serious about growing your online presence, listen to this. Stealing ideas is not bad if you do it smart. I used to be that stubborn designer who refused to look at what others were doing. I wanted to reinvent the wheel. Everything had to be original, unique, never done before. Let me know in the comments if you know what I'm talking about. But let me save you time. Don't do that. I'm not saying copy someone else's design and post it as your own. I'm saying if something works, copy the framework, copy the structure, and then make it your own. Because trust me, if you ever post something that goes viral, people are going to copy you. That's just how life works. So stop waiting for the perfect idea, find what works, add your voice, and ship it. Step number 6, learn how to charge. And this is where most beginner designers get stuck. They're like, what do I charge? Am I charging too much? What if they say no? And let me be real with you. Pricing is its own skill. It's not something you just guess. Even when I was already working as a professional graphic designer, I had no clue what to charge, because charging isn't just about throwing out a number. It's about understanding this: the value you bring, the problem you solve, and the type of client you're working with. If you don't know how to price your work, you will either undercharge forever or scare clients away with random numbers. And that's why I put together something that will actually help: the Designer's Pricing and Positioning Playbook. Inside, I will show you exactly how to price based on value and not on time. You can grab it in the description below. It is only $27, but if it makes you land a $2,000 client, your $27 investment just made you $1,973 profit. Now, here's the truth. You don't get paid what you deserve, you get paid what you position yourself for. So make sure your mindset, your messaging, and your pricing all say the same thing: I'm a professional and I solve valuable problems. Step number 7, fall in love with the process. If there's one thing I wish someone told me early on, it's this: don't fall in love with the destination. Fall in love with the route to your destination. Because some days you will feel behind. You will feel like nothing is working. You will want to quit. And that's normal. It's part of the process. And if you can learn to love the process more than the destination, you will reach that destination. Not just once, but over and over again. Let me be honest here. I wanted to become a soccer player, and then I wanted to become a boxer, and then a streamer, and then a YouTuber making gaming videos. I made beats, I rapped, and every time I got a spark of excitement, I would chase it, and then it would fade. Because the moment things got hard or feel boring, we assume we're on the wrong path. Now let me tell you something that Russell Brunson once said, and it completely shifted how I look at fear and doubt and resistance. He shared this idea that stuck with me: your dream is like a tree, and resistance, that's the shadow it casts. In other words, the bigger your dream, the bigger the shadow that comes with it. The shadow is the resistance you feel, the overthinking, the self-doubt, the voice in your head saying, who do you think you are? But here's the reframe. That resistance isn't a sign to stop. It's proof that what you're doing matters. No one gets resistance from chasing something small. Resistance only shows up when you're onto something big, when your dream is tall enough to cast a shadow worth noticing. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, blocked, scared, good. It means you're standing in front of something real. Don't walk away from it, walk through it. That boredom, that frustration, it's part of mastery. Everyone wants a dream, but a few are willing to repeat the boring stuff that leads to greatness. And I'll give you a funny example. In the beginning of a relationship, everything feels exciting, right? Let's say your partner has a weird laugh. When that dopamine is being released in your brain, you're like, oh well, he or she is good looking, I can live with it. But fast forward a few years, now everything is normalized and you hear that laugh and you text your friends if you can stay over for the weekend. Why? Because things normalize, the dopamine wears off, and if you haven't trained your mind to love commitment, you will keep hopping to the next shiny object. It's the same thing with design. So if you're in a season where it feels slow, messy and confusing, that's the process. And the process is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. Build you into someone who can handle the destination when it comes. Like Mike Tyson said, discipline is doing what you hate like you love it. Now, if you made it this far, just know you're not behind, you're not too late, you're exactly where you're supposed to be. I know what it feels like to be overwhelmed, to think you've missed the boat, to scroll through other designers' work and think, damn, I'll never be that good, but you will. If you keep going, no one sees the late nights, the failed attempts, and the hours spent making something you never even post. But that's what builds skill, that's what builds character, and that's what makes a real designer. And hey, if this helps you in any way, hit like so YouTube shows it to more designers who need this, subscribe because I got more videos coming that will guide you step by step, especially if you're serious about making money with design. And if you got a question or you just want to tell me where you're at this journey, drop a comment below. I read them all, and I'm building content based on what you need most. And if you're ready to take the next step, go watch my video on how to get clients in 2025.